women are single to why most married women are not stable, why most married women are not
to Blacknificent Media, and this is the
it's 2024. Can we shift this conversation from why most successful women are single, why most financially stable women are single, to why most married women are not stable, why most married women are not financially stable?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blacknificent Studios here on Blacknificent Media, live on YouTube, and also will be somehow, some way live on TikTok for you to know how we are going to deal with this issue. So, today I'm here to just expose the fake intellectual woman on TikTok by the name Eunice Nyakwa, aka Hechamano. I try to put my reputation and my name on the line to give her a proper debate. And this one, I was thinking of giving her a debate on somebody's platform, because yesterday when I said I would debate her, she started crying. She came on my platform some time ago, and my so-called audience disrespected her, and she's ready to disrespect us, go into the gutters with us and all of that. I was like, okay, to give her a fair hearing and a fair debate, I was looking for someone neutral to host us. But yesterday, I just dropped a comment, and she started running with a comment. And the comment was about I saying that most successful, financially and academic successful women, most of them, 90% of them, make their fortunes out of divorce. I wanted to add inheritance to it, but then the space to write will not allow me. But I realized that she took it, started running with it. She did 3 videos with that comment, thinking in her little mind, brain, her retarded academic mind. She thought she's got me. Okay, so I can see that she actually played this sound to herself like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, so when I made that post, I could see in her mind, that is what she said. She got me. Because I've said 90% of so-called financially successful women made their fortunes out of divorce. And the reason why I'm saying that Her Chamano is intellectually retarded and a fraud is that somebody who parades herself as she portrays herself on this app could not just take a minute to just find out. Today we have Google, and she said her best place is Google. There's nothing wrong with Google. Just that when you are information illiterate, you can get the wrong information on Google. Okay? So just use Google to confirm. But to get to places where you find out that almost more than 90% of rich women got their riches out of divorce and inheritance, it will take her a lot of work. And as lazy, intellectually lazy and retarded and a fraud as she is, she couldn't do that. And yesterday I was in town. I mostly work on weekends than on weekdays, you know. Yeah. So I was in town and I was only responding to her, leading her to cause more blunder, because I knew the moment I wrote the 90% and she was running with the 90%, I knew I'm going to lock her. I'm going to get her. She's going to bring herself. And by the evening, she came out to disgrace herself. In the evening, she tried a little bit to find out whether 90% of women, or women in general, make most of their fortune out of divorce and inheritance. And she landed on an article published by Forbes magazine, and Sasista.com. But that was the video. Let me put it on the screen. This was the video that made me say, holy crap, thank God I'm on a break and this debate has not happened. This is the video that I saw and decided I am not going to debate this girl because academically, intellectually, she's retarded and she's a fraud. And I can't risk my reputation and my name with such a person. Yesterday in the evening when she was doing her, I think, third video with my comments, that reads, my response to you is 90% of financially successful women got their money from marriage and divorce. When he was doing this, she accidentally, because she doesn't even know how to use Google to search for information. So, Herr Chamano, let me educate you here, as I have taken upon myself to give you free education all the time. There's general illiteracy. General illiteracy is someone who cannot read and write, generally. And there are people who are illiterate in certain areas. I'm illiterate when it comes to sports, presentation, and all of that. You understand? I'm illiterate, and that is not an insult if somebody tells me. And we have information literacy. And El Chamano, you are highly, highly illiterate when it comes to information. How to look for information. Somebody who finds it difficult to look for information is information illiterate. And you are highly information literate. Now, I led you, my comment of 90% of financially successful women got their money from marriage and divorce, pushed you to do about 3 to 4 videos. And on the last video, you accidentally chanced on an article telling you how more than 90% of financially successful women made their fortunes out of marriage and divorce. And this woman could not understand the English. She read that article. She read the part of the article that states that out of 14 top rich women in the world, only one is self-made. And this girl couldn't. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to expose to you how this woman is a fraud. And those of you following her, I'm not saying stop, but you do that at your own peril. Because somebody who has seen an article stating that out of 100 richest people in the world, only 14 are women. And out of the 14, only one made her fortunes or her money by herself. And even that one, when you read further, she did it with a man, her husband. But this girl couldn't. And I'm sorry. So my followers who saw me saying that I was going to give this woman a debate, that's who I am. And following me in the years to come, you see more of that with me. I give every human being the benefit of the doubt. Because if I were her, through the banter, I will go and learn. And the moment I see, I will either call her and say that, oh, dear sister, you are right. And I concede. But her pride and she hating herself as a woman, not trying to live her life as a woman, but trying to live like us men, proving that masculinity is the best thing that can ever happen to the world, which shouldn't be the case. We need men and women for this world to run. But people like her hate feminism, their feminine nature. They hate being women. So she's combined ego with pride. And that would not make her sit her ass down and learn to find out what I said. But let's watched the video that I watched, and I was like, I am never going to debate this woman because she's academically, intellectually retarded and a fraud. Let's listen to her. And then right after this, I'm going to expose her how she should have read the article and understood it. Let's go.
Alleges must prove. Me need statistical tool crowd you see, but me them use Google. It's in nature say. Be proving where your 90% came now. Beside Google say, do women get rich after divorce? Or say this is simply a myth. Statistically, after divorce.
Hold on. You see, when she went on Google, when you go to Google, there are people who write suggestions there. What she was reading, that says that this is simply a myth. Statistically, this is just some individual. And when you're doing intellectual discussions like this, I'm not saying the person quoted. So the person did a good job by quoting the lending school of whatever. But as intellectual as you portray yourself to be, all you needed to do was go to the original article and get the other side of the story. But let me forgive her. Let's give her. She did well by going to read from Google. So
net worth increases while a woman's decreases. It is one of the main. He who alleges must prove. Me need statistical tool crowd you see, but me them use Google. It's in nature say. Be proving where your 90% came now. Beside Google say, do women get rich after divorce? Or say this is simply a myth. Statistically, after divorce, a man's net worth increases while a woman's decreases. It is one of the main reasons why women fall below the poverty line. And people have asked, how many of the richest women are divorced? According to the list, there are.
So this is where I realized that this guy is a total fraud and academically and intellectually retarded. And I thank God this debate has not happened, because I didn't know how I would have forgiven myself by giving this fraud, this fake intellectual, my name, my personality, and my credibility to debate with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this article that she's about to read, she couldn't even understand the English there. So she thought she had scored a point. Let's listen to her.
Statistically, after divorce, a man's net worth increases while a woman's decreases. It is one of the main reasons why women fall below the poverty line. And people have asked, how many of the richest women are divorced? According to the list, there are.
Listen carefully. And after she's done, I'm going to project the original article, and we will all read it. I'll zoom it for us to read it, and you see how fraudulent this woman is.
14 women among the 100 wealthiest people on the planet in 2023. Divorce. According to the list, there are only 14 women among the 100 wealthiest people on the planet in 2023. And only one of them had made their
This is where she couldn't understand the English. Only one of them did what? Come back. Continue.
And only one of them had made their fortune by inheritance, divorce from a wealthy relative or husband.
You see, and look, if you've done human psychology a little bit, you realize, look at her face, facial expression. You sound fakery in her voice. You sound fakery in her face, facial expression. Now, let's go to where she was reading from. When you type something on Google, it shows you, let me zoom it. Okay, so this one, I don't need to have myself on it. Okay, let me zoom. This is the article. Okay? There's the article. Let me give the title, bolding it. So it says, the richest woman in the world. And this one was published by Forbes and republished by Statista.com. Okay. So, Eunice Nyakua, aka Hechamanu, I don't know whether she has problem with reading comprehension. Let me say comprehension. Because the thing was in her face, but could not understand it. So now, let's go a little bit up and then further zoom what she couldn't understand. Okay? Now, it says, and I think this one, my viewers can be able to read it. I will zoom it till it is so clear on the screen. And we'll read it one by one. Now, so I'm even reading from the screen. It says, the Forbes billionaires list reveals who the world's richest people are, but also how the wealth of the super rich is distributed among the sexes. So it says that it shows the world richest people and also showed how the wealth of the super rich is distributed among the sexes, that between men and women. How many men are rich, are super rich, and how many women are super rich. Now, this is where Echamano showed her incapacity to engage in intellectual debate and academic work of any nature. According to the list, there are only 14 women on the 100 wealthiest people on the planet in 2023. And only one of them had not. The word is had not. Please check it on the screen. Okay? Only one of them had not made her fortune by inheritance or divorce from a wealthy relative or husband. So they put divorce in brackets. So divorce and inheritance in this case are almost the same. But this girl could not understand. Let's listen to her, what she said, how she understood it. Okay? She actually omitted the word not, had not in her mind. Let's listen to her again. We are not here to joke.
Among the 100 wealthiest people on the planet in 2023. And there are only 14 women among the 100 wealthiest people on the planet in 2023.
Correct.
And only one of them had made their fortune by inheritance, divorce from a wealth.
Damp, retarded mind. It's not only one of them. It says only one of them had not made their fortune by inheritance or divorce. So I am saying, and so now let me bring myself. Now, let's answer her 100%. According to her own source, which I dug deeper to find the original source. The original source was published by Forbes.com, which was further published by Statista.com. Now, according to this, among the 100 wealthiest people in the world, only 14 are females or women. And out of this, so now, let me educate this academical fraud here. With the 90% that I said, it is more than 90% because now we've secluded the top richest women. And the top richest women in the world are 14 by 2023 year ending. They are 14. And out of the 14, only one did not make her money through divorce and inheritance. In other words, out of the 14 richest women in the world, only one made her money by herself. And I'm going to give you her name. In other words, once again, only one out of the 14 women is self-made millionaire now or billionaire. When it comes to percentages, I failed mathematics in primary, JHS, SHS, and the university. But because of how low-minded this girl is, I'm a maths tutor now. When it comes to percentage, out of the 100 wealthiest people, 14 out of the 100 are women. So let's take the women. Out of the 14, that 14 constitute 100% of the top richest women in the world. And only 1% out of the 14, which is 100%, made their fortunes by themselves. And even when you go into the article, you realize that this woman actually made it with her husband from the scratch. She made it with her husband. But let's forget about the husband. She is self-made millionaire. Out of the 14 richest women, only one. So, Etamano, let me put her side by side. Okay? Let me put her side by side. Etamano. Where's her face? Okay. Oh, let me enlarge her. Let me make her big. So Etamano, do you know what is going on? You told me come and prove, and all the people in her comments session, because they are also academically, mathematically retarded and intellectually retarded, informationally retarded, they also joined the bandwagon saying that, oh, come and prove your 90%. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give it to her. At this point, she knew she had fucked up. And ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
yes, we got him because Etamano, the numbers that you were in a hurry for me to come and prove is 99% of financially successful women made their fortune through divorce and or inheritance from men. Few of them, when you read the list, few of them made it through inheriting it from their fathers. None of them inherited it from their mothers. So once again, only 1% of the super rich women in the world made their riches by themselves. So, Etamano, it is 99% of women who are financially successful made it through divorce or inheritance. Some of them inherited their dead husbands, and your husband is not there, it is equal, like, you understand? So, what I was trying to tell you, dump woman, is that I was economical because I love science, and in science you give room for error. So I reduced it from 99% and gave it 90%. And this girl did 3 good videos out of that. 3 videos out of that. But my dear, that's your own cup of tea. And my one comment forced you to land on an article that exposes you that only 1%. But even if she could click on it and read further, she could not do the calculations. And this woman teaches financial whatever. I still give you a benefit of the doubt. Now, let's go into the article and read what it says. But once again, please, I'm going to do it like what we do in television newscasting using the teleprompter. So please read it yourself, what it says. Okay? We are reading it for the first time, and then we go to the next one. So, the fourth billionaire list review who the richest people are, but also the wealth of the super rich. How the wealth of the super rich is distributed among the sexes, that's men and women. According to the list, there are only 14 women among the 100 people, wealthiest people on the planet in 2023. And only one of them, please watch the word, only one of them had not made their fortune by inheritance or divorce from a wealthy relative or husband. Now, let me zoom back so that I can read a little bit into the article for you. Okay. So the article continues to read. French Laurel here says Franco's Meyers continue to top the list of the world's richest women after having taken the lead in 2021 from Walmart's Harris Alice Walton. Okay, let's go down. So this is what H. Amadu should have done by reading a full article on this thing, and she would have gotten it. But because she's lazy and academically a fraud, she can't do it. So let me do it for her. With the Bezos divorce finalized in 2019, Mackenzie Scott, ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, appeared among the world's richest women, currently in rank 6. The same year, Julia Court entered the list after the death of her husband, inheritance. David Court, one of the 4 sons of Court Industries founder Fred C. Court, with a net worth of 53 billion, she is currently the 3rd richest woman in the world. A newcomer to the list of the world's richest women in 2021 was Miriam Adelson, who inherited a fortune of almost 35 billion from her late husband, Las Vegas Sands CEO and chairman Sheldon Adelson. Self-made millionaire, the only self-made millionaire among the list, her name comes. Raffaella Ponte Diamant of Switzerland founded shipping company MSC with her husband. So you see, but I'll give it to her alone. Even the only self-made person on the list out of the 14 started a company with a husband in 1970, and they both own a 50% stake in it. Their expanding business endeavor saw her climb in rank 7 of the world's richest women this year, ahead of Australian mining heiresses and executive chairwoman Gina Reinhardt, who took over the company of her father in 1992 and has also seen its wealth increase. Thanks to these women who take over wealth from their fathers, and they continue to make more money. Because if you leave such wealth in the hands of this woman, Chamano, she will squander it, and within some few years, there will be nothing left. Now, so her 90%, I've proved it is not only 90%, it is 99% of people, women who are financially successful in the regions of billionaires made it out of divorce and inheritance. All that I was trying to say is that majority of these women who are successful financially, majority of them did not make it by themselves. Period. That's all that I was trying to put in your retarded coconut. But your pride and unnecessary ego would not allow you to humble yourself to go check. Now, let me further prove how this woman is a fraud and why nobody should take her serious. Me, because I love what I do and I respect what I do. I respect my listeners and followers. I make sure that everything that I do, I cross-check. And even if I make a mistake, I will admit. Just like me admitting that I did not add inheritance to my comment because the box wouldn't allow me those words. Okay? None of my video have I disabled stitching. None of my video have I disabled duetting. None of my video have I disabled download. But because this girl is a fraud, all her videos, maybe after she sees this video, she will go and unlock those settings. And I'm telling you, people who are insecure about the things they put on the internet, but at the same time, they want people to see them as credible. Whenever they do a video, one of them is JB. Whenever they do a video, they quickly disable stitching, disable duetting, and they disable sometimes downloading. And that is the modus operandi of Hair Chamano. Now, let's go back to the beginning. How our banter started yesterday. And I came to tell her that she has a low level of understanding in logic and critical thinking. She has a low logical IQ. So yesterday, I had posted a video. So before I go there, let me explain this. I started poking this girl to force her to play nonsense because she doesn't know how to enter intellectual discourse. When you come and meet an intellectual conversation, and especially the conversation is looking for an answer, you provide an answer to the original question, and then you move on from there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end how mentally retarded, academically retarded, and intellectually retarded she is for a part 1 of the video, and then come back to start on how we started all of these things.